now at 11.
And speaking of health, you know, adults, sometimes we don't have the best eating habits. A lot of sugar, a lot of fat, a lot of salt, and then kids follow suit. So how do you get your little ones to get on that right track to healthy eating, to eat their broccoli, eat their carrots? Well, you asked this lady right here, the pro. We have food sociologist Dina Rose, and you're here to explain why some kids eat peas.
That's right.
Thanks for joining me.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I love this segment because so many times parents are saying, eat your vegetables, and kids don't want to. So how do we get them to take the plunge? It's good for you.
That's right. Well, one of the most important things is to remember that it's not really about the food. It's how we shape our children's behavior in relation to the food.
Okay.
So the first thing we need to think about is how we can use taste, texture, and appearance to get kids to eat a wider variety of foods, including vegetables.
Okay.
So when you're giving your kids breakfast or lunch, instead of giving them the same thing every day, try to give them more variety, because kids who get in the habit of eating different tastes and textures are more likely to accept other different tastes and textures, including vegetables.
Well, this also, as far as textures, it just also looks appealing for a child. It just looks like fun.
Absolutely. And with regard to breakfast, you don't have to stick with regular traditional breakfast foods. You can bring in things like hummus and vegetables or dinner leftovers in order to make it more appealing to them and to add a little bit more variety into their diets.
What else do you think? Like, let's take a look at this. We've got the chocolate milk. I know kids love that, you know, but there are options. You don't have to have the high sugar milk.
Well, chocolate milk is a big seller for kids, as is the sweet yogurt. But the thing about these products is that they move your kids away from vegetables because they increase the sugar threshold to make them like sweeter and sweeter foods, which are on the opposite end of the taste spectrum from vegetables.
Another thing, what about that parent that says, is just kind of nagging and begging? Do you really think that works? I think kids are thinking, if they're begging me, then obviously they kind of put two and two together. It's not that great, you know?
Absolutely. If you bribe your kids to eat vegetables by offering them dessert, you're really just teaching them that vegetables are necessary but undesirable, that they're a chore to get through in order to get to the good stuff, and really nobody likes chores.
Yeah, you're right. So let's talk about the peas here.
Yeah.
Going back to the peas.
Back to the peas. It always comes back to that. Most parents are going to give their kids a really big portion with the idea that maybe they'll eat half or a third, and then we ask them to eat 2 more bites.
Okay.
But it would be better for you to figure out how much you expect them really to eat, give them a little bit less, and make it easier for them to succeed.
So they feel that sense of accomplishment then?
Absolutely, and it changes the interaction between parents and children that make vegetable eating more likely and more successful.
Well, you know, let's talk about more about parents who contact you or you're talking to these kids. What else? What do you want parents out there to know about eating vegetables and just the importance of getting them to do this? What would help them? What else?
The more that you can expose your kids to vegetables, the flavor, the texture, the appearance of them, the more likely they're going to eat them. And you have to really pay attention to the inadvertent ways in which we send messages that vegetables are bad.
Okay.
It's about the behavior, not the food.
Not the food.
Absolutely.
Dina Rose, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And you can hear more from Dina. She's having a seminar on why some kids try new foods, and it's going to be at Stay and Play in Old Saybrook. It's tomorrow night at 7:30.
Absolutely, yes.
I got it correct. Okay, and you can learn more at NBCConnecticut.com. Just search links mentioned on air.